kind of inappropriate, and I'm at work. But let's talk about something. So in my life, I don't know if it's just because like I'm a very like useful, like I know how to do man's build things, like use a drill and build a house and throw a baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like lots of man stuff, which has made me kind of in purgatory because I can't seem to find any female friends, and the men get well, so here's what happens. Like men get attracted to me because I'm really useful, because they're like, damn, here's a girl who like actually does stuff. But then what happens is usually those heterosexual men, they have some kind of a girl in their life, woman, baby mama, whatever, who's totally the opposite of me. And she's like a Klingon, mooch, succubus, lazy, needy, normal woman. Because that's how we've conditioned women in our society, which is so tragic. I'm talking about the United States. I'm not talking about any other country. So, often what happens for me then is I end up getting into relationships with men who are secretly gay. Okay? And what it is, so let me just give you, I'm not going to give you the past examples. I'm going to give you an example that just happened last week. Okay. When I say in a relationship can be in many different ways. In this case, I was looking to move into a different house. I live in a house right now with a bunch of guys, a group of guys, and one of them's being really annoying, so I was thinking about moving. So I went on Craigslist and I found some situations for around the same price that were a shared home, a shared situation. And what actually occurred is finally. Okay, so listen to this and you tell me what you think, okay? So this dude responded to me like, yeah, let's meet. And all I did was text message him. I didn't like send him my name or in the message. And I didn't have my picture put with my name, but he could see my name. I thought he could see my name. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he couldn't. So basically when I texted him, I told him, he was like, oh, it's a really small space. And I said, no problem. I do construction. We can build a divider. So apparently based on that, he assumed I was a man, and he's living in a studio. So I met up with him, but here's how it went down, okay? So we make a deal, okay, yeah, let's meet in person or, after 8 o'clock. So I was done with work at 6. I went down to the Palace Bar, which is the gay bar that I usually hang out at, and it's not just a gay bar, it's for anybody. Like, you can be of any lifestyle preference when you go there, and it's just no judgment. I love it. So these two things, so basically he calls, we talk at 8 o'clock. I texted him, like, hey, I'm ready, to meet or whatever. And he was like, okay, cool, where are you? Texting me. I told him I was at the Palace Bar. So I go, yeah, they protect me around here. So he says, okay, cool, I'll meet you there. And I'm like, well, I could go down to where you are. And he's like, no, wait for me there. Like he wanted to come. And I was like, okay. And it's not normal for a heterosexual man to like want to go to the palace. And so I go, he rolls up on a bike, and I come out front to meet him. And suddenly he gets like really uncomfortable. He's a big, strong, buff guy. Like, looks like he works out. Definitely over 6'2". Like, big and strong. And very effeminate. Like, really, like, gentle when he talks, okay? And he became so nervous. He basically ended up throughout, we talked, we were talking about like our living situations, whatever. And then he ends up telling me this long ass story that wasted a bunch of my time about how the last time he shared a place with someone, it was a gay man that was from Argentina, and it was just the best roommate ever because the guy would like go out to this local club called Twist, and he would be out till 5 in the morning, so that when he would come home he would just sleep all day. And it was so great because, you know, the guy I was talking to was saying, oh, it was great because I couldn't even tell my roommate was there. And I'm like, how fucking depressing. Like, you like that your roommate like goes out and parties all night and just sleeps all day? Like, who? I can't handle looking at that. My brother does that. I hate that shit. And so after like 10 minutes of listening to him go on and on and on and on about how great of a roommate this guy was, and how, you know, he's in a little bit of a financial crunch right now, and so he's looking for another roommate because he moved out, that he and that guy moved into their own separate places now, but that guy still lives downstairs from him. And then he started to say, oh, and I have a girlfriend and she's 24 years old, and this guy's like way over 30, like way over 30. I would say around probably 40 something years old. And he's like, and then he tells me this, he's like, okay, well, so yeah, you know, like, okay, well, if you want to move in, I'm going to have to take your identification, and we're going to have to go down to the police department and like report that you're in my house, because, you know, if anything goes missing, because like I have a lot of stuff and I just don't want anything to go missing, so I just want to make sure that the police know you're living at my house. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, and like basically I need to you know, let my girlfriend know that you're gonna be staying at my house, because I don't want her to really move in, because like, you know, she's going through some like legal issues right now. And I'm like, and he's like, but I'll text my gay friend that lives downstairs, maybe he wants a roommate, you know. And I'm like, and he goes, he finally blurts it out at the very end. He goes, oh, well, you know, I thought you were a guy because you said you do construction, you know. And I could read his mind, and that I was at the Palace bar. So he thought I was a gay guy who did construction who goes to the Palace. Okay? And then he's like, oh, yeah, like, you, my girlfriend is really nice. She's gonna like you. I'm like, do you understand how women work? If she likes you, she's not gonna be happy with me living in your house. And he's like, no, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. I'm like, no, let me explain to you how women work. If you like her and you're having sex with her, how is she going to be happy that you move me into your home? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, well, you know, like, you know, yeah, so, you know, I'm just going to have to, like, take your ID to the police, and then I'm going to have to talk to my girlfriend about you and say that you're living there, and then I'm also going to ask my gay friend downstairs if you can move in with him. And I just go, you know what, it's okay. It's okay. This isn't going to work out. I'm not going to take my identification to the police department so you can accuse me when you lose shit. You think I'm going to move into your house, and, you know, what if my shit goes missing? I'll put your ID at the police too, and then fucking accuse you of my shit going missing. And basically I go, like, this isn't going to work out. Just, I can tell that this is not going to work out. I think you need to get yourself, like, figured out, and maybe call me back if you have a different idea later. And I was like, it's okay. And he's like, okay, all right, bye. Okay, so there's a dude who is clearly gay, clearly gay. He's in the closet. He doesn't want anybody to know he's gay. And he is hunting to have another gay roommate move into his studio. It's not the first time this has happened to me. And so, like, I just look at it from his girlfriend's perspective. I'm like, wow, no wonder this old guy is trying to get a 24-year-old to be with him, because she's not going to recognize the red flags like I am. So anyway, you, like, seriously, women, you really have to be careful, because, like, there's a lot of men that use women or get into a relationship with a woman so that they won't look gay, but then they keep having, like, intercourse with men, like, while you're in a relationship with them, and that's how you can get really fucked up, really bad diseases. So be careful, because it's not the first time that this has happened to me. So anyway, good luck, you guys. Seriously, it's why I don't mess around with sexuality very much.